Hello, YouTube land. I didn't do an introduction because I'm feeling lazy. Okay, I'm just going to explain to you as quickly as possible. That Trump and XI, China, and Washington, D.C., Demonic Central, are putting on a show for everybody. Governments run on taxes. They tax the people, tax goods, etc. Tariffs equal duty equal taxes. It's all the same thing. If you import something into somebody else's country, you pay a duty, unless it's duty-free. But we're talking about these two Pacific countries. Washington, D.C., Demonic Central, and China. Okay, Washington needs more money because they have to spend trillions and trillions and suck every penny out of us, and we're stupid enough to let them. Because individually we can do nothing except for rent and raids. But together we could get our money back, but unfortunately Americans will never come together for many and various reasons. But the point of this is to show you that this is a big show. Okay, Washington. Here's where your taxes go. I mean, they go to other places. This is pretty much the top places. So, Israel. You have to realize a big chunk of your money goes to Israel. To make multi-million dollars out of Israeli Jews so they can buy up American companies and property. And that's what they've been doing. You probably hadn't even noticed that they purchased Perrier, America, and a few others. Anyways, and it's a lot of them. But that's what your representatives do. They give Israel money, billions and billions of dollars through various funds to buy up everything in America. Okay, so and then it goes in the pockets of Rothschild, Rockefeller, Soros, Gates, EREs, evil ruling elites, selected officials, pockets, the military, protecting child trafficking. And yes, the U.S. military protects child trafficking. They're part of the whole thing. China, their money goes, they're a surveillance state, so they spend a lot of their taxes on that. Of course, their families, like the U.S., our tax dollar goes to Trump's salary, even though he donates it. But he's got, his son-in-law and daughter, a couple of worthless people in Washington doing nothing, getting a big fat salary. Alright, so it goes to their selected officials, militaries, the technology, and land purchase. Say what you want about China, but XI is into purchasing land to farm to feed his people. Whether it be out of the kindness of his heart or they need slaves, who knows, but at least he wants his people fed. So in order for the governments to get more money to spend, whether it's on, their billion-dollar under-bunker luxury caves when the pole shift comes, or it's just so they can buy another piece of jewelry or an island somewhere. They need more money. So they get in a trade war and raise tariffs. Now, initially, sure, China is going to have to cut a check for duty when they import something. And America will have to cut a check to China for duty when they import something. However, that item, let's just say a cell phone from China, just as an example, because I don't want anybody to say, they don't import any blah. whatever. Anyways, we'll just say cell phone. It costs $1. Okay, now that the tariffs have been raised and etc., it will cost you $3 because it used to cost you $2 because it cost them $1 to make. So now it's going to cost you $3 plus tax. You will see a slight increase in taxes at the register. Slight enough where people aren't going to pick up the phone and complain too much. But through the price of the goods, it is the consumer that pays the tariffs. Purchasing. Same way with Washington. Except for the problem with what Trump is doing, you know, with the soybeans and having that taxed and ruining the farms and letting the soybeans and food go to waste. And this goes back to the thinking, and another slice of evidence to prove what I say when Trump is working on a winter starvation for the American people. Why would anybody let soybeans and other crops rot when the farmers can't export them because of the tariffs? So let me wind down and contradict myself for just a second. You know, when the U.S. farmers export goods, ABC farming, let's just say, they may have had duty-free in China, I don't know. But this is just giving you an example. So, farming ABC used to have no duty on his soybeans. So now he's going to ship them to China. And now there is a tariff on them. So now the 50 tons of soybeans is going to cost him $100,000 in tariffs to import to China. China would gladly take them, but the problem is the ABC farmer doesn't have that kind of money. So at the same time, Trump is bankrupting the farmers. We need to talk about bailouts. He bailed out some big Jewish companies that are into farming, but he didn't bail out the farmers. In any event, it's a show. They're playing you. Except for America's losing. And it's not because Trump is stupid. It's by design. Now, if you read that Silent Weapons, Quiet Wars, this is in those chapters. This very scenario. The whole thing's in there. I don't know. It's been out there. We published it. Other people have published it. And yet, people act surprised when you talk about it. Like it's some kind of conspiracy theory. But it's not. You can see what's going on. It talks about how they're going to rip apart families. How they're going to introduce degradation, perversion, sexual perversion. And their biggest worry was how to rip mothers from their children, separating that. Anyways, you're all being played like usual. Trump is no savior. He's worse than the rest of them. He's just a better actor. And he actually has no conscience of how he treats people or Americans. Understand, America and Americans, my fellow Americans. America is the new Israel. And everybody failed to stand up against it because they are afraid of a word, anti-Semitic.